Whoa, it's John Crump live, but I'm not John Crump, and you know the joke, I'm alive. With that, whoop, I hit a wrong button. I'm going to bring in the Rogue Banshee. So, Jason, why are you quitting YouTube and going into lawnmower racing?
Well, it goes back to this rediscovery of my transgender nature. And
so you're going from lawn boy to lawn girl, is that?
No, I'm going from lawn girl to lawn boy.
So we're just joking here. Jason he's like, hey, I'm getting a delivery of a new mower, so I'm not sure if I can make it for the show or not. And so I just found, Honda has a 150 mile an hour lawnmower.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm surprised you do not have that picture up on the screen that I sent you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised that you've been
waiting
for that one. But no, it's like, God, it's springtime in Montana. And it's like our tractor is like 15 years old. And
that one, yeah, the one. I'm sorry, yeah, the new mower pick.
Yeah,
I thought there was something other interesting.
Yeah. No, and then so yeah, it was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and then we had talked about me coming on today. And then they rescheduled it yesterday. I'm like, no. It's like, this is like the one time I have free. And
right.
Yeah, so they got it delivered in time. Because you're like, go or no go. I'm like, they're delivering it now. Let's go.
Yeah, I didn't know how long, if there was some extended process or whatever, or they just like drop a pallet and said, here you go.
No, yeah, it's already put together and everything. They have it just they get the little forklift off the back of the truck, and then they just drop it down and you drive it off. And
okay, so no lift gate. It's
yeah. So,
dude, I don't know if I'm self-doxing, but I ordered a pallet of survival food, like freeze-dried food from Costco. That's definitely the cheapest, bestest place to get that stuff, per volume, whatever you want to say.
And I can't eat that stuff. That's the hard part I have. So I can't eat that stuff.
Well, so what's funny is, my wife is sensitive to some things, and I had like a bucket of that brand food, and we cooked some up. We cooked. I mean, you boil water, you pour it in it. And she was able to tolerate it. I'm like, all right, I'll buy more.
Yeah, see, for us, we grow our own food. Like we were just planting the garden last weekend. We got more to plant.
Oh, if I can live off macadamias and dragon fruit, I'm set. Actually, I got the macadamia tree. It takes like, I don't know how many years to mature. It's like 8 years or so. It's funny. It's over by my pool pump. I look up and I'm like, oh my God, there's, it's like tennis balls. They look like, maybe smaller, but green.
I'll tell you, macadamia is kind of a weakness of mine. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I'll send you some when hoping they're any good. I think the reason this land has, my neighborhood has houses on it as opposed to farmland is because the soil sucks. So a buddy of mine is growing dragon fruit. The guy that got me into dragon fruit, he's got like 5 acres and stuff grows like mad on his property.
There you go.
And, anyhow, so for people that don't know you, now that we just, went all sideways, Tell the people who you are, what you do, and mention Freedom Crew University.
So I am. I love to. I love to piss off a certain political party with gun content.
Oh, I forgot. You're famous. Yes, Jason is famous.
It gets me in trouble, which is good, right? But no, I do firearms content. Basically, I started this channel back when I was in FFL and I was doing Cerakote work, and I'm like, kind of want a channel, and I'm sick of like taking everybody's guns apart and putting them back together after doing the work and only getting $50 for it. Let me do videos of this, and then it just kind of grew into a thing.
So how long ago did you start doing YouTube firearm content?
So, first video launched 6 years ago on January 1st.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
So,
okay.
I founded the channel on Mischief Night, but the first video didn't launch until January 1st.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it took me several months to figure out this YouTube thing, like how to film a video.
Oh boy!
And the way I wanted to film it, no one else was doing it, and I had nobody I knew was doing that type of stuff. So I just had to create my own style. And
that's another interesting question. So what did you start out editing with?
I started out editing with iMovie on my Mac.
Okay, I'm doing iMovie and some DaVinci Resolve. I haven't really done a lot of DaVinci Resolve recently.
I'm in Final Cut Pro now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Final Cut Pro is so much easier than DaVinci Resolve. It's kind of like iMovie on steroids.
Yes. Erica is using Final Cut Pro, Matt Hoover's wife.
Yeah, it's I love Final Cut Pro. I think I'm starting to get to the point where I might be outgrowing Final Cut Pro. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if I'm outgrowing it. I just there's some other players out there just doing some really cool things that Final Cut Pro just has not caught up with.
But so sometimes I have Canva mainly to do thumbnails, but Canva has some really cool titling options and capabilities that you just don't have, because I use iMovie for the most part.
What's funny is I use PowerPoint to do my thumbnails.
Okay.
I tried using Canva, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like a Canva idiot. And I'm like, well, I'm used to doing PowerPoint presentations. Let me try PowerPoint, and I like it.
Oh, that's interesting. So, are your daily driver, is it a Mac?
Yeah, I'm looking at 3 Macs.
Oh, okay.
And then 1 PC, which is
right. It's so funny because, all right, so Jason and I, both gun guys, both work in the tech world, both 3D print. So we got a whole bunch of common interests going on, and Jason's a chief instructor over at Freedom Crew University.
As are you.
As am I. So at Freedom Crew University, for those that don't know, I don't know if we could say the last 3 digits of the domain, but you can figure it out. That was started by Marine Gun Builder, who I used to unmercifully make fun of his accent. And you have no idea how I used to rip. Well, yeah, I guess we do, but
we still do it.
Not in a kind, loving way. And now that I know him, I feel so bad of all the taunting I've done privately.
But it's kind of fun. I mean, he's a good guy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so funny is that. So a quick story about the two of us. Like a year and a half or 2 years before Freedom Crew University, I had reached out to him, and I never got a response. I'm like, that effer, right? I mean, he's like, he's so big, he doesn't want. Because I'm like, I reached out like, hey, let's do a collab. And what's so funny is around the same time I was reaching out to him, he reached out to me. So I never got his email. He never got my email.
Oh, so no.
We totally thought that neither one of us were interested in each other at like the same time. And
That's
then
funny.
when Freedom Crew University came up, he was talking to somebody. He's like, you know what would be really cool for this? He goes, the Rogue Banshee, but he didn't get back to me, and I don't know how to really reach him. And this person's like, dude, I text with him. So I got this text like, Marine Gun Builder wants to talk to you. I'm like, okay, give him my contact info. And then he called me, and we had, God, I think we talked for probably about 90 minutes that day. And it was funny talking. It was talking to him because he got about like 5 minutes into the pitch, and I kind of had an idea of where he was going. I go, I'm in. He goes, I haven't told you what I'm doing yet. I go, I got an idea where this is going. I'm in.
Right.
That's just kind of that was kind of how the two of us get together. It's funny. The two of us got to catch up. We haven't talked for a little while, but yeah, it's that's how I got hooked up with Freedom Crew and MGB is through a mutual contact the two of us have. It's just so weird in this industry where you have we know the same people, but we might not run into each other until one event.
So that was, I was gonna hit you with another question. So as you started gun tubing, who was the first, maybe not in person, but who was the first gun tuber that you met?
It would probably have to be Clovertac. And really it was, he had this group on Facebook where
and Clovertac also tech guy.
Yep. Yeah. He was a Microsoft guy, Microsoft and Cisco guy. So it was, he had this thing and I reached out to him, and then he had this Thursday night podcast, and then I ended up on that Thursday night podcast with him. That's actually the first time I was on that podcast with Clover. Crump was on the panel, and that's when I met Crump.
Okay.
So that night I met Crump and Ghost Tactical.
Okay.
So so physically, the first person I met physically was it was Ghost, followed by Clover like 3 minutes later, because we were sharing a house for shot.
Which actually we shared a house for shot this year, which worked out real good.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Now, can we talk about the, let's see, other guy that shared the house at shot who's overseas right now, or we can't talk about him?
Well, he's on my podcast this weekend. I gotta still edit that, but so Mike was Long Range Reaper. Amazing guy. I mean,
super nice guy. I haven't kept in contact with him enough, but every once in a while, we'll message, and super cool guy.
He's hard to get a hold of too. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. The stuff that he has seen, the stuff he's done, yeah, he's a long range guy, and he's a kind of behind the scenes guy though. He's not up front.
That's why I asked. Like, he, as far as I know, doesn't have a real social media presence or anything. So I didn't want to.
He's got a Facebook account that he gets. I think he just came off like a 18-month ban on Facebook.
If I was banned for it, I'd never go back. I mean, I think once every 3 months I go to Facebook.
It's so funny is people reach out to me on Facebook, and I'm never there. It's like I have a third-party app that does like my social media postings for me. So it throws it out to my 2 Facebook profiles, throws it out to LinkedIn, throws it out. And then people like message me, but I'm never there. And then really the only thing on my Facebook page is actually my wife. She's there because she sells stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But yeah, it's so I'm never really on Facebook. Every once in a while she get, do you know so and so? And I'm like, I don't know, who's that? Well, he's also friends with, and they'll name like 3 other people I know. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, accept their friend invite, but they're never going to talk to me because I'm never there.
All right, I might be the slowest across the finish line. Is that a French cleat wall? Is that what you got going on there?
It is. It is a French
Okay.
cleat wall. Yeah. It was so weird. I was recording one of my podcasts, and I was talking to the guest, and I reached over and grabbed something off the wall, and he was like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "That's real." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I thought you were in front of a green screen."
It actually, the lighting, yeah, it does look that way.
What?
Do you have a softbox or something in there?
Actually, I'm running no soft boxes now. It's funny. I just redid all the lighting too. Um, I get the color temperature of the lights by actually here. You know what I can do? Watch this. Through the magic of technology, if I zoom out.
Uh-huh.
So there's Starlink.
Oh, okay.
That right there is one of the lights. The other light's there. I have a light here and a light there. That's the primary light that is hitting me. It's the secondary light.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got lights everywhere. But yeah, it's
Gotcha.
there's how the sausage is made.
Uh-huh. So, and what kind of camera are you using?
This camera right here is a Samsung S10.
I'm not familiar.
So I have a program called Camo Studio that you can connect old cell phones. You can also use regular.
Oh, okay. I'm like Samsung S10. I'm like phone.
So yeah, it's a Samsung.
Yeah, because I'm using my Note. Is that a Note 8? I think it's a Note 8.
Yeah, so it's just an old cell phone camera, and an old cell phone that I use as a camera, and yeah, I can do.
Okay, so are you using the front cam or the back cam?
So it's the back camera. This is
okay, because that's a higher resolution camera.
Yeah, this is the wide. Like here's the ultra wide.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see there. There you go. So there's a ceiling fan right there that I got some. I'm doing some soft box too, and then over there. But yeah, and then if I think I can do this without pissing off my day job. There you go. There's you on the TV.
Oh, okay. Oh,
There's
cool.
StreamYard. There's the widescreen, so you can see the mess over there.
Oh, that's neat. I like the setup.
So yeah, it's you didn't think you were gonna get a studio tour, did you?
No. Well, just like any John Crump live episode, we have no agenda. I always laugh when people, I get them on the show for the first time, and they're like, "So, what do you want to talk about?" I'm like,
"Whatever." Yeah, it was like right before, like 30 seconds before you went live. You're like, "What do we talk about?" I go, "I don't care. Anything we can't talk about." Like, not really.
Yeah. So, in case you're wondering, it's like just as I switched over, dropped us at to bring in the intro. Crumpy's having headaches, and so we made a joke that his brain implant's rusting.
Yeah, he was hanging around with Elon Musk a little bit too much. Got a brain implant, and it's giving him some problems.
Yeah. So that's another, and that's the truth. Crump actually has a brain implant, and the company that built it went out of business.
Yeah, there's no more firmware updates for this thing. He's getting hacked by a 3-letter agency.
Right.
No, it's really weird when you get talking to John and all of a sudden he does. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah. So so I got people. Actually, I don't think I've told you what my top secret project is, but we'll have to talk offline about that.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little left out here. I sent you
kind of cool
Friday's video, but you never watched it, which is funny. I actually found an error in it. I forgot to do something and had to redo it.
So I call it it's like you can do GAB, which is Geisley Aero Precision Bravo Company, or BAG, which just flip the letters around. I call it the Love Child build. And so phase 1 is just going to be the build. Phase 2 is I have both Gideon LPVO and Arc and Optics LPVO that I'm going to throw on and do a review. And actually, the last part for that build shipped today. I've got to finish my Geisley build, which really isn't a build, it's accessorizing, because Crump Dark and I got a Geisley Super Duty competition. And Tuesday, I rode over to Safety Harbor Firearms where I got the new shirt and the rain camo hoodie, which is actually, now that it's 90 plus degrees out, I don't think that it's a very thick hoodie. It's nice.
It snowed here yesterday. It's gone, but it snowed here yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I mean, I did work in Minnesota at the Mayo Clinic for a while, so that we joke there's a few minutes of no snow.
Okay. I've got I've got 2 builds that I'm working on videos for. One's on hold because I'm waiting for parts. So it was going to be 8 to 10 weeks to get this next part for this build. So I'm like, all right. I waited, and I go, screw it, I'm going to move on to my next build. So that's the smooth operator build. But so I decided to move on to my next build, going, okay, I got to get something going in the meantime. So I bought a bunch of parts for this other build, which I haven't come up with a full name for it, but I think I'm going to call it the Home Rumbler. I bought a bunch of stuff, and then 2 days later, that thing that was 8 to 10 weeks out shipped. I'm like, great, thanks. And so now I got money spread across two builds that I don't have full funds for.
Oh, that sucks.
Because the smooth operator.
Come on, you're a working man. You're fully employed. You gotta have money.
Yeah. I'm also trying to save up for retirement too, and given 8% inflation, it's not like that's happening.
We know you're like Scrooge McDuck, that you got a vault with money you just swim in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not supposed to talk about that.
Every YouTube starving.
Just because at the shot house you grabbed my phone and saw the pictures of me naked swimming in the money doesn't mean that you've got to tell everybody else about it. But no, the smooth operator build, I'm looking at it on the other bench. When I get done, that's going to be $4,000 or $5,000.
Ooh, ouch. Okay, you get. So hold on.
The receiver on that alone is $1,300.
Oof. Oof. What do you do? What kind of receiver is that?
That's a pristine action. So this is a bolt action build.
Mm-hmm. I kind of figured that when you're talking those prices.
So that's a pristine action. The barrel is a Schillen Select match. So the barrel alone is like $650 for the barrel. I got to get a trigger, and I mean the optics alone are going to be probably over $1,000.
So I'm looking at the spreadsheet for my Love Child build, and I'm building 2 of them, so it's going to be double. But I got a budget handguard. I think I'm going to be under $800, but that's not including taxes or shipping. So I could have got hosed on my a la carte purchasing.
My Home Rumbler build, which that's probably going to come in at about $500.
Oh wow!
So that's going to be a fun project. It's fun. I'm looking at it in the other bench back here. That's going to be a fun project. So that's and these are all going to be in the Extreme DIY Gunsmithing video series. So this is the new content that I'm coming up with.
All right, if people don't know, I mean, you did mention it, but you were an FFL. You were an SOT, were you?
No, I was not. I was not an SOT. But the FFL that I get my stuff through now, he's a home FFL like I am. He has an SOT. And like I went over there one time, he was shooting a that's funny. Was that one car fast? I saw that one too, that 84 BB.
I'm looking right now.
I used to do one of the things when I had my FFL was there's Beretta cheetahs that went on the surplus market. I actually rehabbed those things and resold them. Screen makes everything better. But yeah, so he has an SOT. I was over there and they were shooting. He was setting off 7mm mags with a suppressor, and we didn't have any hearing protection. There's Jordan Vinro.
Hey.
Here's a guy I didn't even get a chance to talk to him at SHOT this year.
Well, that's the only time I get to talk to him because I've never actually talked to him on the phone. So that's the
actually I haven't either. But no, it's so we got. So yeah, I have access to SOT. He was like, hey, look, if you can get something fun in, and they can Form 3 it into me, we'll just go out back and shoot it. You can film it. He goes, as long as I can play too. I'm like, wait, I have a guy with an SOT that'll let me get stuff in. I can play with it without having to wait, 9 months for paperwork. Film, and he will Form 3 it back to them. I'm like,
nice. That works.
Yeah, you just became my best friend.
Right. That's cool. I mean, it's nice when you have people that'll work with you. So, Safety Harbor Firearms is helping out with my AR. It's an AR barreled Gatling gun, 6-barrel Gatling gun build. And Safety Harbor Firearms is big time helping out with that. So we're talking about doing a couple of different, which I'm not going to fully disclose all of the videos I have planned for that, but the number 2 video is going to be an SOT version of it.
Nice.
So
nice.
there'll be a fun switch instead of a hand crank.
Nice. That
and of course it'll have a Gideon optic on it. And a goon beam.
I only have one Gideon. I have no goon beams.
Where's? I got the DLD glowy blue one right here.
Yeah, I have no goon beams.
Which causes cancer, but only in California.
Well, yeah, that's everything causes cancer in California. You notice everything that you buy. The state of California recognizes this as. But I love the thumbnail. Brag out.
All right, so I think we should declare war on Mexico, and then sue for peace and give them California.
And
maybe Oregon and Washington.
I'm going to date myself a little bit here, but I'm just saying. If you were a child of the 80s, Lex Luthor had the right idea for California.
I'm not as much a superhero dude.
So, yeah, the first Superman movie. Hey Warsaw, what's going on, buddy? The first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. He went to go stop Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor had bought land on the San Andreas Fault.
Okay.
He bought east of the San Andreas Fault, and then he was going to put a couple of nukes into the San Andreas Fault and watch California slide off, and he had beachfront property.
Sounds good to me. Sounds pretty reasonable. I mean, can we get everybody, all the nutnigs in California on Catalina Island, and just call it good?
Yeah, it could be. Look at Dark trying to say. Dark knows everybody.
Dark is like totally bogarting in on the stream. It's like, dude, enough.
Well, it's
Enough,
like
back
the
off.
one time I was on Crump, and then Dark came in, and then it was like for the last 5 minutes, like, oh, Jason, by the way, this show was about you. I love Dark, man. He's a
Oh yeah,
great
yeah.
guy.
Oh my gosh. It's like I was going through dark withdrawal. I didn't talk to him till like, I don't know, noon today.
Oh, well, it's funny.
Like, man, you okay? Everything good?
I don't think Dark likes me. He doesn't talk to me.
Yeah. Well, you better watch out. If you're on his like speed dial list, you never get anything
I know.
done again.
I send him a text like, "Hey, man, I need, I need somebody to jump on a podcast." Yeah, man, I think you can do it. And then like 3 days after it was going to happen, like, sorry, man, I totally spaced.
So Dark is having his big giveaway, and actually, I'm not sure. Crump said he's going to be in for it, but I'm going to pose this out to both Dark and Jason at the same time. Would Jason, would you be available to stand in at 10 o'clock for Crump if Crump is having medical issues?
At 10 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, which would be what? Is that 8 o'clock your time?
Yeah, it'd be 8 o'clock. Actually,
Is that Mork and Mindy? You can't go? No?
No, it's not Mork and Mindy. It's Gilligan's Island.
Gilligan's Island.
You know, the black and white versions. So, but I mean, it's kind of Gilligan Island, but you know, that fights with McHale's Navy. No, actually, tonight I've got a family thing I got to do.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
I would love
all
to,
right. So,
I
my wife and I are of the same vintage, and I guess similar vintage to you. And we actually started watching the OG 1960s Lost in Space.
Oh, it's funny.
And
I saw that.
So there's a guy. Oh gosh, what's the guy's channel? I really like the channel. You know, it has nothing to do with, you know, it's just sci-fi stuff. I think it's movies, monsters, and whatever. And
I was thinking Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh yeah, another good one. But he talks about like behind the scenes and props and this and that, all sorts of stuff. In Lost in Space was not supposed to be about Will, Zachary Smith, and the robot. It was supposed to be about Mr. and Mrs. Robinson. They were supposed to be the main characters. And it basically, I think season 2, and don't count me as gospel on this. Season 2, they realized, all right, yeah, it's more of a slapstick comical thing with, you know, just the robot, Dr. Smith, and Will Robinson. Which apparently, so this is a Mandela effect. Apparently, Danger, Danger, Will Robinson line only occurred once in the 3 seasons.
Really? But yet it's like the most known thing.
Yes.
I mean, if you say Lost in Space, it's like the first thing everybody thinks of is Danger, Danger, Will Robinson.
Yes.
It was only said once. Damn.
Apparently, that's the lore on that. I just like with Lassie, Timmy never fell in the well. Didn't happen.
See, that's a conspiracy theory.
You think Timmy fell in the well, and
that's all conspiracy.
Hold on, don't propagate conspiracy theories here on YouTube. We're gonna get our channels banned. You
know. Worse than they are now. Yeah, for my wife and I, we're kind of, because let's face it, TV sucks right now.
I actually, so I'm sure people that watch this channel know, or watch my ish know. When Tucker Carlson, the only thing that I had YouTube TV, and the only thing I watched was Tucker Carlson.
That's what
Tucker's off. It's like I canceled. Like within a day or two of Tucker leaving Fox, I canceled YouTube TV. I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, we had YouTube TV mostly because there's no cable TV through our neighborhood. We got fiber now, but cable TV won't show up. So it's either YouTube TV or satellite, and the
Hmm.
satellite stuff is just too damn expensive. Even YouTube TV is kind of getting expensive for what it is.
Yeah,
But
they kept creeping up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need this crap.
so
If when it was cheap,
we have it because we have the YouTube TV mostly for the DVR. So we just throw one
yes,
because it's unlimited DVR, and like when
yes.
we go away for vacation, we'll take a laptop with us and plug it into a TV, and we still got our DVR stuff that we can watch.
Mm, that's
And
cool.
then, but no, for TV, my wife and I are getting ready to get onto a. I haven't seen the new Fallout. I've been meaning to watch that. Um, it's
I,
my wife and I are
I
getting
want
ready
to
to put
see
on
The
like an
Boys.
80s
I
thing.
was I'm sorry, talked over. Have you watched The Boys?
I watched 2 episodes and I just couldn't get into it.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh,
Yeah, I couldn't get into it.
that was
Um,
total crack.
yeah, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to do an '80s TV kick. I think it's going to kick off probably next month with Simon and Simon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh gosh, it's so funny. There are a couple of shows. I love the Rockford Files. I loved Simon
Mhm.
and Simon.
We got Rockford Files recording now on DVR.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Simon and Simon. Probably. My wife won't like it, but probably Riptide.
Oh boy, that's another. That's kind of like totally corner case. Most.
Total geek show. All right.
Oh yeah, and they were talking about all sorts of hacking.
Yep. Back then.
In dial-up modem days. Yeah.
Well, and it's because that kind of came off of the whole war games, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that was really the
Of,
hacking
of
genre
course,
back then.
I forget what model helicopter that was. So it was a Korean War
It
helicopter.
was the Jolly Green.
And that helicopter actually had an air-cooled radial engine. Later models of that helicopter were fitted with a gas turbine.
Yeah. So
And
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things where we just kind of.
wait. What's Josh saying? Hold on. See here. Do I need the microphone like hanging out like that?
Well, you see. That's why I got this one, and it changes colors so people know that there's like an actual mic there. The real story
So
of this mic is that my podcasting mic died and my audio was going downhill quick. So I went to Walmart and this is what they had. So this became my podcasting mic.
So I got a question for Josh at Black Diamond Guns and Gear. I'm going to be driving from Florida to Champaign, Illinois. Should I bring the 50 cal and stop by your house and we shoot? Of course we don't have to monetize the video, so you don't violate the commercial range statute. Anyhow, there's always a lag and somebody has to type, so that's
Yep.
always.
He's laughing now.
I'm hoping that's like hell yeah, like Cletus McFarland, hell yeah.
But is he laughing at you or with you?
Right.
Is the question.
Right.
You're used to people laughing at you though.
Can't shoot anything bigger than a 45 cal. I don't have any 50 BMG rounds on my desk. What the hell? I'm slacking. Oh wait. No. Damn, I moved things in my office.
Don't you hate that when you clean up and you can't find crap?
Right, when it's a freaking neck deep in, stuff.
I know it's a mess in here now, and I cleaned up like a week ago.
See, this is my form of organizing. This is my bag of Meshtastic stuff.
There you go. I couldn't find anything, so now it's a mess, and I can find everything in here.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like I'm like, let me grab a tablet, an Android tablet. I'm like, I don't know. They used to be right there on the floor. But
mine's sitting right there. My iPad's right here.
So I think that's how I got banned from reviewing items on Amazon, because this tablet company sent me a tablet. I'm like, yeah, this thing sucks. I want to send it back.
I didn't know you did Amazon reviews. I've been thinking about doing it, but I just don't have the damn time.
Well, and so what'll happen is some Chinese company will send you something that's probably might have been a good electronics product 5 years ago, but it barely can act as a web browser, as a tablet. I'm like, yeah, this thing sucks. I'm like, I want to send it back. And it was one of those they would uh you buy it on Amazon and then they would send you through PayPal the difference,
Oh yeah, I. It's funny because I've never done my camera. I'm playing with the focus of my camera. Um, the I can tell you if someone I've never reviewed an Amazon product unless I bought it myself.
Mhm. Mhm.
But every time I get an Amazon product, like, hey, here's this product and blah blah blah, and it's available on Amazon. I'm like, delete.
So I think that company was mad at me. I'm like, look, I'm not reviewing it. Let me send it back. I'm like, they're like, no, don't do that, don't do that. And then they were like dragging their feet on giving me my money back. And I'm like, look, in if you don't have me, if you don't PayPal me the money in 24 hours, I'm just returning it on app. They're like, don't do that, don't. So I think they gave me my money and then like dropped dime that I was reviewing for money or whatever on Amazon. So now I can't even like comment and ask on Amazon. It's like, hey, this product, like where other people reviewed it and ask me a question. I can't even post questions.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? It's something I never talked about here. I just think about doing reviews. I started writing reviews over at the Square Reviews with John Petrolino. It's his new website where he's doing reviews. He's reviewing everything. It's funny. He's like reviewing like the Great Wolf Lodge, and then like the next day it'd be like a mag holder, and then
Oh, okay.
it's like this, that, and the other. And then I come in, it's like, here's a gun vise, here's a screwdriver set. It's like he's all over the place. I'm like, yeah, you can tell what my mesh is, right?
Well, you spend money on Amazon. So here's again, I make maybe $50 a month on YouTube videos. So if I could,
Hey,
drop an
everybody who's
Amazon
bad
affiliate
things are
link
looking
on
for
a
the
product that I
best.
actually purchased and liked, it's like, please, Amazon, let me repent, forgive me of my sins, and pull in a couple of bucks. Like I spent some money on like portable dog fencing because deaf blind dog, needs to walk around in the shade as
And
opposed to
you're
having
not
the
using
sun.
my affiliate links? Jeez. I see how you
It
are.
I'm bad that way. Yeah, and I would like to use people's affiliate links, but I forget all the time with the amount of money I spend on Amazon or my
Well, it's
family
funny
does.
because people are like, hey, use my Amazon affiliate links. I'm like, man, I really just don't shop on Amazon anymore. It's like we canceled Prime like 2 years ago and just did not
Oh,
look
good for
back.
you. Good for I'm. It's like crack. I don't know if I'd be able to quit.
Well, you see, so it's a little easier for us than it is for you. I mean, you're down where you can get like same day shipping and all that crap.
Oh yeah.
You
Yes.
know, we order stuff on Amazon and it'll show up like a week later. It's like, but I got
Oh wow.
Prime, and they're like, yeah, so because they used to ship UPS into here. We'd get stuff within 3 days, or within 2 days, and then it was they shipped the postal service. Complained to the company about a bad product. They asked you for a good review for my money back. I gave a good review, got the money, then changed my review to negative and shared the product. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That is epic right there. Um,
Yeah. So just word to the wise. Read first off, any product on Amazon, you want to buy a product where it has hundreds or thousands of reviews, or like 5-star reviews, 4-star reviews. If it's a product and they don't have a whole lot of sales, only have a handful of reviews, every one of those reviews that are positive were from somebody that got it and was
I
required
bought it.
to give a
Well,
positive
that's the thing.
review.
I know I've bought things from Amazon, and a manufacturer will reach out to me later and go, hey, if you give us a 5-star review, we'll give you like $50. And it's just like, geez. Okay. Let me see that now that I have this product, I want to return it because obviously the reviews that are out there are bought.
Yeah, there's a lot of purchased reviews, and Amazon is trying to clean that up. But yeah, beware.
Definitely beware. Definitely beware.
Where was it? Oh my gosh, I stayed at a hotel in Gainesville, and there was like blood on the wall.
Nice. So you're in a murder hotel, huh? But you go to
And
Gainesville
I
and you have
put that
blood on the
on,
wall.
what was it, Yelp or what?
You go to Vegas and you have bed bugs.
Oh my god.
Dude, I don't know if I want to hang out with you anymore.
So, all right, this past weekend I
I'll
stayed.
just find out where you want to go, and I'll go the direct opposite direction.
Ding 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 ding. That's like the shopping supermarket checkout lines. It's like just pick the whatever line I'm on. Don't go.
Do you have the same problem at like a toll booth too?
There's no toll booths in Florida anymore.
No, but you've traveled 95.
Yeah. I don't even pay attention. My car does all the driving. Why would I know?
Well, that's why you had that one live. You were talking about self-driving cars, and I said every car is self-driving for a few seconds.
Indeed, it is.
My car.
Yeah, actually, I stayed at, was it a Quality Inn? My daughter had booked it in Gainesville this past weekend. Exterior of it kind of looked no-tell motel-y. Interior was perfect. Like it wasn't redone 100 times by blind people. No, blind people do a better job. By special needs people. Is that rude also? Anyhow, is there anybody I haven't offended? Please stand up, raise your hand, let me know. So, Rich, PSA could be buying KUSA.
That's a lot of. I was talking about that yesterday with Night Strike and G-Webs, and
okay.
I don't know.
Are we conjecturing, or does anybody have any knowledge?
Conjecture. I don't think it is. Shooting gallery.
Shooting gallery. Speaking of driving, what are you doing? He's probably still driving home.
I don't know if they'd buy KUSA, and I don't know if they'd really want to. I mean, really, I have a GF3.
Well, and realistically,
I know GF3 is now a little bit older, but I fucking love that rifle. I don't know if I'd want. I don't know if they'd. I mean, if they bought it, it would just be for the name, and the name is in the real crapper right now. But hey, I guess
I'm with Frag Out.
Model.
All monopolies are bad, especially laser artists that sell to and have monopolies on. Well, I'm teasing Frag Out. I'm totally teasing Frag. Well, I love his work. Totally pimp his stuff all the time.
The government has a monopoly, so I would agree with monopolies are bad.
Clayco. What is Clayco? Why can't I remember that?
I don't know.
I know that name.
Clayco or Brico?
So has Frag Out done any laser work on a PSA? Oh, actually, what is their? Is it their Saber line? Is the upgraded ARs?
God, to be honest with you, I don't pay attention.
What? You're not on the PSA crack?
No, it's not that I have anything wrong with them. It just, I mean, I have an affiliate relationship with them that I don't push. I probably should. But I don't know. It just doesn't really. Oh, he's a YouTuber.
We got Forged in Billet. Is that just like French? Billet? How would that look lasered up? Would that look good? I don't know. That's a little plain. It's okay. Don't get me wrong. Might be good for like lasering. That might be.
Well, the thing that's killing me is like, I don't know. I've done so many AR builds. It's like, I mean, there's a couple of AR builds I want to do that I've been talking to a certain individual about, that Rich knows who I'm talking about. But it's like, that's why I'm building bolt actions now. I kind of miss I miss building the bolt guns, and
I think I'm digging the billet.
I do want to get into building some AKs.
Yeah, I am the stereotypical AR owner that has an AK with iron sights, as the joke goes.
Both my AKs have iron sights.
If it was only easier to put.
Well, you see, and that's the thing. My GF3 has an optics rail on the side, so I really could. I could put an optics on. I don't shoot it that often. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I'm mostly a pistol guy. But I mean, I like rifles, but just pistols are my thing.
So if anybody ever asked me how many ARs do I have, I don't really know. And then there's not a good way to do that math properly.
And that's the thing is, are we talking completed? Are we talking lowers? Are we
enough
talking
parts to build more?
you need to redefine that, because
yes.
I mean,
functional's one.
Yeah. Is it fully functioning? Is it like mostly functioning?
Are we talking 5.56 as a caliber, or
Yeah, I mean, well, I've got an AR-10 upper with no barrel or anything, just hanging right there waiting for a build.
Yeah.
Now I got an AR-10 lower over there. It's built. It needs the upper built put on that actually has the matching Cerakote job.
So I know I have two AR-10s. One's 308, one's 6.5 Creedmoor. That I definitely know.
I have no 6.5. And it was funny because this
don't tell me you don't have 300 blackout. Say it ain't so, Jason.
I have a 300.
Okay.
I have a 300. Actually,
what about 300 Legend? You got 300 Legend?
No.
You're not the cool kid with all the fad calibers.
I like to stay with what I can get. It's one of those things of, I mean, 300. So the only reason why I have 300 blackout was a video series I did for Bear City Arms. And that was the quick change barrel system. They sent me a 300 blackout barrel.
Oh my gosh.
And the guy's like, hey, look, I'm going to send you a barrel, but don't expect much because it's like a $50 barrel that I bought retail for $50. I'm like, okay.
All right. So hold on. Let me. Not
I'm
butt snorkeling PSA, but where's? They had a deal. It was an AUG with an optic with a 300 blackout barrel and a 20-inch 5.56 barrel. I'm like, holy cow! I'm like, yeah, I've got way too many AUGs for any one person. So, well, Nylogs. Let me just say it that way.
See, I mean, and that's the thing is, I've always wanted an AUG, but I've never had the money for it.
$500, you can have an AUG.
Yeah. Just need to get a kit. And that's the thing is, I just need to do it.
So the barrel, all right. So the parts kit is like $200 to $300, depending on who you get and what parts you want with it. The barrel from KAK is 150. So that and some carbon fiber nylon filament, and you got yourself an AUG.
But that's after I spend $1,000 on the new 3D printer.
Maybe.
Actually, I have an all metal hot end on my Ender 3. It's just going to look like crap when I'm done. There's no such thing as too much cut.
So yeah, I ended up with way too many Nylogs. I did pick up an MSAR because I was jealous of Walter Keller's MSAR, although mine did not come with a Microtech knife.
Dude,
so
you do not want to play Keep Up with the Neighbor with Walter Keller.
No.
That's a Keeping Up with the Jones with him, you're gonna lose.
I don't have any Unimogs or what is it? What is the I forget the name. He's got it in his carport. He's got a tank in his carport, the wheeled one. It's track reconnaissance, British. I forget what it's called.
You know, it's funny. I've never talked to him.
What is it? So yeah, actually, let's see. It's a ferret, I believe, is what it is.
A ferret?
Ferret. Yes, it's a ferret. So Walt has at his house in the carport. This is, let's see, do I have to click share screen? Yeah, so this is what Walt has in his house at his carport. Not kitted out like that, but
that's respectable.
I guess his neighbors don't F with him, probably.
Everyday driver, right?
Yeah.
One of my customers, when I had my FFL, he had a deuce and a half, and I was like, I always wanted that deuce and a half.
Oh yeah,
and it was a tri-fuel. It was a tri-fuel deuce and a half, and he had a transmission shop, so he ran it on used transmission fluid.
Oh, no way! I didn't know you could run that on.
Well, he has one of the tri-fuel ones, so you can't do it all. But his he ran it on. He just ran it on used transmission fluid because he had like an abundance of that because that's a hazmat for him for the shop, and it just became a fuel for his deuce and a half. And
so Walt recently he sold it. I don't know how long ago, but he used to have an Oshkosh truck. You know, one of those military.
I like those old. I like that stuff. But yeah, it's fun. But yeah, one day I was flipping through. What was that? I think I was like on Craigslist, and I saw this deuce and a half, and I'm like, "Who the hell in Helena is selling the deuce and a half?" And like, I know that garage that thing's parked in front because I've been to his house. We've been out there shooting by his house. Me and his son, him and his son, we all went shooting one time. And I'm like, I know that garage, and I sent him a text. I'm like, dude, you're selling your deuce and a half? He's like, yeah, you want it? I'm like, yeah, I don't have the money for that. It's like, even if I had the money for it, I couldn't feed it.
Right.
Unless he's going to give me unlimited transmission fluid for it.
As much as I enjoy the Lexus with a comma AI and all of the modern electronics, I would love to get an International Scout with a mechanical diesel and like an air starter. So that would literally be the vehicle that would survive after the EMP apocalypse.
There's a guy here in Helena. I used to work with him back when I worked for a defense contractor out here, and super smart guy. And there is not a Scout in the Helena Valley that he has not owned at least once.
Oh yeah.
And he would just rebuild. He just knew Scouts and rebuilt them. He'd buy them in any condition and rebuild them. And then
so they came with a Mitsubishi turbo diesel.
There you go.
If I got that correct, I gotta.
think so. Well, I'm trying to think. He used to. Oh God, I was just thinking. He used to race scouts off road.
That's cool. That's cool.
He had a travel wall that he used to pull the scouts with on a trailer. He's loaded two scouts because it was him and his wife. They have two scouts on the trailer, and his old international travel wall would be pulling that thing down the highway.
Oh, that's cool stuff. And Bob Masavo, how's it going, man? So Bob is like a RF geek, and he saw I was 3D printing a helical 918 or 915 megahertz antenna, and he's like, "Yeah, that's not what you want." He's like, "Let's talk."
What were you making the antenna for?
For the Meshtastic setup.
Ah.
Ooh, Kyle Wade. Who knows that guy?
Kyle, there's the man.
How's it going? Now is NRAM right now? Kyle is at NRAM.
No, he's not. I don't think he's at NRAM yet.
Or he's prepping for NRAM?
I think he's prepping for NRAM because NRAM's next week. Yeah, I think next weekend. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I met Kyle like not this past, but a year before, and I like actually I had his card in my desk forever, and I was reaching out to him like, and I called you. I texted you and Chris from the 740. I'm like, hey, do you have Kyle's contact? I'll try to get a hold of him again.
I don't know. Kyle's gonna have to start cutting Chris off because that's how I ran into Kyle.
Oh yeah.
Like, wait, you know Chris? No, he's just gonna cut us off because Chris is sending so many people his way. But yeah, no, he you know, when I was talking to Kyle, he's like, you go to NRAM? I was like, I've never been to NRAM, and it's always in a bad time of year for me, so I just can't do. I want to go to NRAM, but it's just I gotta choose my battles for finances for the channel appropriately.
Well, you know, since I'm unemployed, I could do whatever I want. But the question is, how mad do I want to make my wife? So I try to limit where I go and what I do.
I mean, you did have a fight to get to shot.
Right. Well, so.
But you went pretty cheap at shot. I mean.
Yeah.
What was it, like $226 for the week for each one of us to stay at that house?
Yeah. That was.
Of course, you had the shower head that just like pop off when you're taking a shower.
Well, all right. So they gave us towels, but that's like a towel I wouldn't use to dry my hair.
It was like you had like hand towels to dry off.
So we actually all went out and bought towels independently. I came home and it's like I bought towels and the rest of the guys all bought towels.
It wasn't a bad house. It was just
no.
You could tell it was a rental, right?
Yes, it was. Oh wait. So some of the construction on it for that back overhang
that works with sketch.
So there's like
I'm gonna move the grill out there to outside the door.
Obviously, they don't have snow loading issues in Vegas.
Yeah, there was some sketchy stuff.
There's. So do you watch it? Actually, the only thing I don't know, are you a bit of a Motorhead or no?
Not really. I used to be,
okay.
But not anymore. I gave up all that stuff to do for a YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah, it's like so I just recently I got to do the sway bar drop links on my Lexus, but I did the axle on it, which it wasn't a big deal, but getting the right part ended up being a big deal. Like any auto parts store had the axle, and I believe it wasn't the correct one for $100 and change bucks. Lexus would sell it to you for $900, and if you got a discount, it was like $600.
So the last thing I did, I had to do a half shaft on our. We have a '99 Durango, so I had to do the driver's side half shaft on that. And And I got in there and I'm looking around. I'm looking at the ball joint going, that's not going to work. Because the early Durango, the first gen Durango had ball joint problems.
Oh.
And we had the right side done, but the left side wasn't done for ball joints. And I was sitting there, putting a half shaft in going, I wonder if this banging in the front end is the ball joint separating and not this half shaft that I just put out of the truck.
Well, in the funny thing, so YouTube is fantastic. My Lexus RX 450 is the same as a Toyota Highlander, so you could look up Toyota Highlander drive shaft videos, all that bit. And somebody was telling you it's like pull the caliper bracket. I'm like, well, if you're gonna pull the caliper and the caliper bracket, just unbolt the caliper bracket. There's no reason to do both.
Yeah.
And they're like, take the strut off the knuckle, unbolt the knuckle. I'm like, whoa, wait a second. I'm looking at this, and I'm like, wait a second. There's two nuts, or is it? Yeah, there's two bolts and a nut on the lower ball joint. I could split that and swing the frickin' strut with everything on it out of the way.
Yeah, I get that. It's funny. I was thinking as you were talking about that. I was just thinking, just hit me. I'm like, my wife was talking. We were in her car the other day because we dropped the Durango off because I was like, so we have a 99 Durango with 103,000 miles on it. So we don't drive it, but it was time for brakes on this thing because we were out driving and the thing. I was coming down off a hill and the brakes were fading and the whole truck was shaking. And like, those rotors are warped. And I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. So I just took it to a mechanic that does our stuff, and $1,300 later, I was like, man, maybe I should have done it.
See, that's why I do my own.
And then she was driving home, and she's like, hey, my steering's loose. I'm sitting there going, shit. I'm like, that's either going to be the rack or it's going to be the tie rod ends. And her car, it's a 93 Honda Civic. So parts are getting hard to find for that car.
Ah, interesting.
But she's had that car since before she even knew me. And she's not letting that car go. He's got 247,000 miles on it now.
Really?
Yeah. Cars like the Energizer Bunny.
See, my wife's too much of a technophile. She loves technology, and we would definitely want the newer car.
See, for us, if we get rid of a car before 200,000 miles, it's rare. I mean, when you buy a car from us at the end of it, it's because you need like a fender,
the parts.
Yeah, you need like a tail light because there's nothing mechanically left of the car because we used it up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's we drive until they die, and even then they get put on life support a few times. But like her car, shit, it's getting hard to find parts for that car. The fortunate thing was with her car, we had air conditioning. Nobody can fix the air conditioning in that car for some reason.
Really?
But the fortunate thing was that it was the late '93. Early 93s were R12 and late 93s were 134.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh, thank God. So at least we could get Freon for it. But
which I believe all of that's a scam anyhow.
Yeah, we drive until they die. Like I lose my car in the summertime. I end up losing my car because she drives my car because the air conditioning works in it. Everybody, you put the meters on, everything works fine, but that air conditioning will just cut out. No one can figure it out. And we've literally replaced every.
I mean, that sounds like an AC clutch, or either it's got to be the control circuitry that works.
I'm actually wondering if it's in the dashboard, if it's like the button, the controls inside the car that are going bad. Because there's a new compressor in there. All the hoses have been done, the condenser's been done, the fan's been done, the evaporator's been done.
Wow.
I mean, the hoses have been, everything has been replaced. It's a brand new air conditioning system. and no one can get it to work.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm thinking I think there's something wrong in the dashboard.
Mm-hmm. That would make sense. But that seems like it'd be easy to rule out also.
Yeah, but nobody wants to dive into that dashboard either.
True. True.
And you got to remember, everybody puts meters onto it, and all
Yeah.
the gauges
Yeah.
say it's fine. But it's like,
Well,
but it's not.
everybody working on a car now is artificially intelligent. They don't have any intelligence of their own.
Yeah. So I think there's something wrong in the dashboard. I think there's got to be like a wire loose, or because it'll work. Because everybody's like, it works. So we put the thermometer in, and it's blowing out cold, and she's like, okay, keep it, keep that car. And she goes, it is 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's 45 degrees out. So yeah, of course that air conditioner is cold.
Right.
And then they'll like drive it at like lunchtime, like, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with this thing? They'll see it, but they can't figure it out because they put their gauges on and everything's fine. So
shouldn't be that complex.
You wouldn't.
Alrighty, Jason, we've been babbling on for a significant amount of time. So what do you got to pimp?
The amount of time the two of us have talked.
True. So what would you like to pimp?
I'll do the website today because I get so mad at my website. I've wanted to redo it forever that in early April I literally hit delete, and I didn't back it up. I literally hit delete and started over from scratch. So it's looking pretty good, and it's becoming the one place where all my content is, just in case it disappears off a certain platform. Just saying. But yeah, so go out to the webpage. It's www.trb.fyi. Still fixing some things, but most of the content's there now. Oh, Eagle Run.
Mr. Eagle Run, how's it going?
The two of us were supposed to meet up at SHOT because this was his first shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then again, I was supposed to take you around during your first shot too, and I did.
That's true. That's true. I'm like, oh, thank you, Jason. What a kind offer.
I was like, God.
Right. And then you're like, oh, I thought it was somebody else. I didn't know that we're talking about you. Well, look at all that content.
So yeah, I'm slowly finding some of the stuff that got kicked off a certain platform, trying to put it back up. But yeah, I mean, there's the web page. So
cool.
Go check it out. I got all the old content is.
And guess who's never built them up and has a number of them to build.
Dude, you just need to send me your stuff, and I'll just build it.
Yeah, I've done SHOT, I've done the Clown Palace, and then the what was the last place? The Mardi Gras, where that ended up costing me an extra $2,000 to get rid of the bed bugs that I took home. And let's see, we did the Airbnb this past year. Crumpy stayed at Harrah's, which I'm thinking that might be the way to go in the future. I might want to give that a try.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Eagle Run knows Wade also. Is that how that's working?
Yeah, everybody knows Wade. We're like late to the party at knowing,
Is that it?
Kyle,
Okay. So Nick Eagle Run is going to come out with rich dark coffee. Dark says it's going to be dark rich coffee. I'm telling him it's going to be rich dark coffee.
There you go.
So we pimped the website. You are, I'm assuming, yes, your website does have all of your social media links on it. So that's good.
It does. And there are some articles in there that I don't have videos on, like how to understand the color codings on Six Springs. So if you're changing out a recoil spring on a classic Sig, I tell you what colors are for what.
Ooh, look at this. Goonbeam coming out with the AC suggestions.
Sounds like a
The
blend door.
blend door
Actually, no,
actuator.
it is not that. Good. We thought that too, but we were watching the door actually moving back and forth. That was, but yeah, that was a good one because we ran out of ideas and then we came up with that one. But it's weird. I just told her we'll just close it and just don't bring in fresh air. we'll just force it. So, but yeah.
So I'm not exactly as bad as DLD After Dark because I did a giveaway for a carbon fiber tripod. I haven't drawn the winner yet, and Crumpy knows how the software works. I guess I could figure it out.
It's funny. I got a review I got to do on one.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's a Sunway Photo. So Sunway Photo, I am in possession. Actually, it's like a little bit further than an arm's length away from me. To give away. I have a bunch of, I think I have like 1,000 entries, and hoping somebody, I'm not gonna like fix the contest, but I'm hoping somebody in the US wins it because a lot of people in Europe entered. So I'm like, I don't want to ship to Europe.
That's gonna be expensive.
I mean, I might have to do something with, if they say they want the tripod in Europe, I might have to work something out with Sunway Photo. Say, hey man, can you help me out here?
See if they can drop ship one in for you.
Right.
When I got that one sent to me, it came in from China. It came directly from China.
Yep. Yeah. So actually, yeah, usually my 50 cal is on this Sunway Photo tripod here, but since I had Josiah on last week, I threw my Stormtrooper AUG up there that I got at PSA because they own my paycheck when it comes November, December. Might as well just send it to them. Alrighty, guys. Yeah. And with that, so DLD After Dark, I think he's doing a show 10 p.m. tonight. So he's going to, we're actually, a number of us are going to be on a panel picking a group of 5 out of each category, and however he figured it out, I don't know, ranked choice voting, something like that. It's going to be like California primaries or something. I'm not sure how it works, but so tune in tonight and for DLD After Dark. And thank you guys for joining us.
See you guys.